Hello guys, in our previous class we discussed HTML forms. So in this class we are going to discuss HTML multimedia, how to add multimedia to your website. Let's say you want to or to your web page. Let's say you want to add a video, or you want to add an audio, or you want to add a images and so on and so forth, multimedias to your website. So now the first thing is you go to the folder which you have your index file, that is your home page file. So now I've moved to my folder here in the what's it called, in the file, in the local disk. So now I'll click on user. So under the users I have my HTML file within the user. So I'll click on the name. So now I have all my HTML file here. So now I want to add the multimedia to my page. I will create a new folder called multimedia. New. There are sometimes you see where if you have come across something like this, where you just create a separate file, a separate folder for image. Let's say you have your website image, you can create a separate folder for your image or multimedia. So now I want to create a separate file, a separate folder called multimedia. So my video will be within this multimedia. So now I want to take a video and copy the video and paste it to the multimedia file. So let me rename this file name. Let me rename this file name and name it video content. Let me name it video content. I think it should be saved as, the extension should be mp4. So now let me cut it. And go to the file which my HTML files is located. Let me go to the folder which my HTML files is located. So this is where the HTML file is located. Let me paste. I think I've created a folder earlier called multimedia. Let me go into the multimedia folder. Let me paste the video content there. So I have the video content. Let me check the extension which is saved. Is it in MP4 or MKV? So the extension is MP4. Yeah, thank you very much. I've gotten the information which I needed, which is the file name, video content, the properties, the extension which is mp4, and the folder which is located, which is multimedia. So now to add a video to your page, or to any page, or to include a video in any page, you start with video. There's a tag called video tag. Then within the video tag you have video open tag, and we have the video close tag. You have to close it because the video always has a closing tag. So now you close the tag. Then after that, within this video open tag, you specify attributes. You specify some attributes such as the width of the video. Yes, it wouldn't make sense if you want the video to take the entire width of your page. So specify the width. Let's specify the width as 450. That is the unit is 450 pixel. The height, you specify the height as 240, the height as 240, or let's say 300. Yes, the height as 300. Autoplay, specify there is also another HTML attribute called autoplay. Then muted, that is, we want to mute the video. Then the source, you specify another tag called source. That source, whenever we discuss, when we discussed how to attach image to a web page, we talk about source. So this source is very, very important. You first specify the source tag, then the src attribute. This src attribute is very important, as it will specify the file name and the file path. So the first thing is, within this file that we are now is saved in the same place where the multimedia folder is saved. So you first refer to the multimedia file in the folder which it is saved, which is multimedia folder, multimedia. multimedia's folder. We created a folder called multimedia. Then forward slash, then the file name, which is video content, dot, then the extension, which is mp4. Yes, assuming we have the video content at the same folder where we have our HTML page, the multimedia won't be there. So after this, we talk more about it. So the type, you specify the type. The type is in what? mp4. Video, the type is a video. The multimedia, the type of the multimedia is video / mp4. Then you specify the file. Then you close the tag. The source doesn't have close tag. So now let's save this file. So for this thing to work, you have to make sure you are using a browser which supports video. Yes, you should be using modern browser which support video. So let's save it as multimedia.html. So now let's run the results. Let's see the results now. File. Let's open the file. Open file. Now let's see the result in the browser if it's going to work. Multimedia. Open with Google Chrome. Can you see? The video has been included. And autoplay means automatically the video will play. Can you see? The video has been included in our browser. This is the video. It has been included automatically in our browser. Can you see that? So now whenever you want to include video in your browser, you use multimedia tag. So now let's remove the autoplay and let's see. Let's remove the autoplay. Now let me save the video once again. You can remove the muted attribute as well. So now let's see. Reload. So the autoplay has been removed. So it won't play automatically. So that is that on video tag. So now you have to use you have to use a browser which supports Windows. Do you understand? So that is that on videos. So now let's talk about audio tag as well. Audio tag, audio, HTML audio, HTML audio. HTML audio. So the way you include audio, the way you include video to your HTML page is mostly the same thing you are going to include audio. So now let's find an audio here. Let's find an audio in our folder and let's include it. Do I have an audio? Let me check if I have a music. The music is empty. Okay, let me check download. If I have a music in the download section. So I'm going to copy that music and paste it in the file which we are working on. Let me see if I have. Yes, I have an audio here. It's the Burna Boy audio. So now let me copy the audio and let me move to the file, to my file. So now let me paste the audio there and I will change the folder name. Yes, this is the folder in which we have our page. So here, instead of me to paste the audio in multimedia folder, I will not paste it in the multimedia folder. I want to paste it in the folder in which we have our file. So I'm creating this. Let me just save it as Burna Boy. Then it is in the folder is in MP3 format. Can you see? It is in MP3 format. So I won't save it. I won't put it where we have our multimedia folder. And there is a reason for doing that. I want to tell you the difference. In the multimedia folder, we paste in our video. But here, I'm not pasting it in multimedia folder. But if you are working on a serious project, you have to paste it there because the music is a multimedia. So now, let's add the audio. Let's add our audio. To start with, we are going to specify the audio tag. just like you specify your video tag, audio open and audio close tag. So you are going to specify your audio tag. So after specifying the audio tag, you are going to use source tag as well. You specify the source tag. Source src is equal to then the file name. Here, now what I want to show you before I specify my file name, what I want to show you is here we make you whenever you want to specify the file name, you specify the file path, which is multimedia. We started with multimedia, that is our video content is inside multimedia folder. It's inside multimedia folder. So this HTML, we look at the multimedia folder, then after multimedia folder, we now look at the video content, which is the file name, then the extension. Here, I'm just going to specify the file name straight away, Burna Boy. I'm going to use burnaboy.mp3 straight away. Why am I specifying the name, the file name straight away, and I couldn't refer to multimedia folder? Because we have this Burna Boy, this file in the same folder we have our multimedia.html. You know, this multimedia.html is a file and is in the same folder, inside the same folder as this Burna Boy. We didn't have this Burna Boy in a separate folder. Assuming we have it in a separate folder, we are going to specify the folder name. We are going to specify the folder name followed by the file name. But here we have the folder name, we have the file name, I mean the file, the entire file in the same folder, just like we have our HTML folder. Here we have, let me show you the multimedia HTML. This is the multimedia.html which we created. That is our HTML page or HTML document that we have been working on since. And this is the audio file. So do you see that they are in the same folder? They are in the same folder, unlike the video content. The video content whereby you move into the multimedia folder because before you can access the video content. So that's why I'm specifying the file name straight away, because the file name and the HTML file which we are working on currently are on the same folder. So that is that whenever you are using source, if your image is in the same folder with your HTML document, you are just going to specify the image name, I mean the file name of the image. If it is in different folder, you are going to specify the folder name first, then the file name. So now, after creating the source, then I will specify the type attribute. The type attribute, which is audio slash mp3. Audio slash mp3. You can specify the file name as audio slash oog. Yes, you can, let's specify it out, audio slash oog. Then, no, let's specify it as mp3. Audio slash mp3. Audio slash mp3. Then that is that on how to specify the file. Then you can now give it that, okay, you can now write a text that your browser does not support if the video isn't showing, then just show to us that your browser does not support video elements. You know, there are some browsers that will not support video elements. If you are using older browser like internet, all these Microsoft Internet Explorer or something like that, you have to use a modern browser to so that the audio and video will be shown. What's going on? The content is not showing. What's going on? burnaboy.mp3. Type audio slash mp3. Your browser does not support the elements. So why is it not showing? Okay, let's use, instead of this mp3 here, the type here, let's use peg, mpeg. Yes, let's use mpeg. I think that's the issue. Yes, you are using mp3, you specify the type as audio slash mpeg. So now let's save, let's reload. It's still not showing. What's going on? What's going on over here? It's not showing. Oh, I've got my Visual Studio Code. Why is it not showing? Oh, I think we need to specify a control. Yes, you need to specify a control attribute. Yes, you need to specify control attributes. So let's wait for this thing to reload and let's specify control. Inside this audio tag, specify control attributes. There are some attributes you need to specify. Specify control within the audio open tag. Within the audio open tag, specify controls. Now let's save once again and let's see if it shows. I think it should shows now. Yes. Can you see? Yes, the audio has been shown now. Now most of the time you'll be seeing something like this in, let's say you want to download an MP3 song on most websites, you'll be seeing something like this. Can you see the audio is playing? The audio is playing. I think my speaker is not that audio. That's why you couldn't hear the audio like that. Assuming my laptop speaker is very loud, you're going to hear the audio. Yes, it's playing. Yes, it's playing. So that is that. You want to add video and audio. So in short, you want to add multimedia in your HTML document. That's how to add multimedia. And this one we're talking about is not the one you have been familiar with. This image SRC. Then you want to add image. You use SRC. So every time you're working with image, and to add image, you're using image SRC, which is the source. Then the auth. Specify the auth. So that's that on multimedia. You want to add image to your page and specify the source. Let's see if we have an image within our HTML folder. Okay, let's move out of multimedia. I have an image myself. Now let me use myself. Let me add myself jpg. Yes, I think I have an image called myself. Let me add this image to our HTML document. Now let me reload. You see the image we show? That is that on HTML multimedia. We have the video, we have the audio, and we have the image. That is that on HTML multimedia. As simple as that. So you have to note these tags. You want to add multimedia to your HTML page. Can you see that? So that is that on multimedia. You can read more about multimedia on